There are multiple concepts in life that seem paradoxical, and it's not possible to put them in the same room or by any means that one person is really embodying those two different concepts in one act or one personality. But it is possible. I actually really show you and give you a list of a couple of concepts that seem contradictory. We talk about how can we merge them, or sometimes how can we at least find a balance, right? And it doesn't mean to really be in the middle, make a perfect compromise. You can be fully neutral. Two people could have an argument, right? This is a metaphor. Two people could have an argument. You could be fully neutral, listen to that, and then realize, hey, wait, in this situation, this one person, person A, is fully correct. So you have a strong opinion, but you're still neutral. And you can have this as well with those two different concepts that seem like they're so either or, not the case, right? Let's get started. The very first concept is something that is a big one. It is about giving and taking. A lot of people are in this competitive mood of, hey, when I give, I lose something. When I get something, I win something. And there's only one cake. So if the other person gets a piece, I get less. But it's not necessarily the case. In fact, you might know the pyramid of needs from Abraham Maslow. I really love the Psychologist. Really, personally, I think it's the most underrated psychologist because everybody just knows about the pyramid, but he wrote so much more about self-actualized human beings and how they behave, how they think. And they also really merged some of those concepts. For example, giving and taking. They realized, hey, when I am most selfish, I am most selfless. If I have a purpose greater than myself and I really enrich other people in any way, maybe emotionally or any other way, this is when I get the most, and actually then I'm most egocentric. So I want to, for example, have a business where I give, I'm really selfless, but this is also when I get the most and live the most fulfilled life. Makes sense, right? Here it's not even about finding a balance, it's really about really merging those two concepts together, and you can actually have both of them at the very same time. Another huge one, massive, is about accepting versus changing. What should you accept in life? Be like, yeah, okay, I agree with that. Or at least it's okay and I accept it. I don't need to interfere here, because changing things is also connected with suffering, right? If you don't accept things, you suffer. But sometimes you really feel like, hey, I can't accept this. I need to change it. It's my life. So when do you do what? First of all, you could again put this together and realize that in a lot of situations, if you simply accept something, you already changed it. If you feel depressed today and you're like, hey, everybody has their ups and downs and today is mine, and that's okay, I don't need to change anything, I accept it. Truly accepting it, by that you already change your state of mind and you feel already much better. I'm not talking about accepting something for the sake of getting better and changing it because it's a proven method. No, I really mean it to really accept it. It often already changes things. And sometimes, obviously, depending on the situation, you need to find your balance. When do you accept something? When do you stand up for yourself? It's like, hey, I'm procrastinating too much. I don't want this anymore. I want to change my life. I want to take charge of my life and change things right now. It's also sometimes a good way. Depends on the individual, depends on the situation. Think about it. Another concept is about trusting in the process, being spontaneous versus I need to have a premeditated plan and I need to know what's happening. Personally, I'm still struggling with fully incorporating those and finding my personal balance between, hey, I love being spontaneous, but I know if I'm not having any plan, I'm just dabbling around. So I want to go for the mastery thing here. I want to really embody a goal and really strive towards something. But also, I don't just always want to play this if-then game and always being the achiever mode and always live in the future. I want to have both. I want to realize I can't look beyond the horizon, so I can't plan everything. If I know already everything, the goal was too small. And though I want to have a plan, I want to have a direction, work on that, and while working towards that, being in the present moment and see what opportunities pop up and be spontaneous. And that's possible. You can have a plan but still be flexible. And this probably gives you the best results. You could even change the perspective and say, hey, not having a plan is my plan. And I'm trusting the process, always making the same decisions. What's the right answer? I don't know. Probably again depends on the individual. Depends on the situation, depends on the goals or where you want to go or how you want to live and how do you want to feel. But you can find your balance there. And also realize whenever you try to demonize something, say, oh, planning is bullshit. This is probably, and there's some distortion in your reality perception. There's always something good in everything. Also try to accept that. Another one might be, another concept about letting your emotions out and expressing them authentically versus controlling your emotions. And on my way of emotional mastery, also I meditate now for a couple of years, I realized I can control my emotions more. I can decide also due to meditation, where do I want to attach myself and my emotions more and where not, steer myself to the positivity, but also simultaneously just really expressing my emotions, crying and letting them out and being fully authentic here. And I raised both standards. And all in all, my emotional aspect in life really raised. I grew there so much. And I am authentic, but in the right moments, I can also steer my emotions in the way I wanted to. Because perception is never the entire reality, right? Only 2% of your perception is what you perceive. Do you want to focus on the negative or the positive? And when do you want to focus on which aspect? And when do you want to cry? And when do you want to feel this way or the other way? You can decide, you can control them, but also let them fully out and just be yourself and show weakness even. Let's go to the next concept. The next concept is about experiencing and going out there, making experience versus sitting in your room and reflecting on things. I'm a huge believer, and also a lot of psychologists talk about that it's important that you sit down and reflect. But that's not the only thing. It's also important then to come up maybe with a plan or be like, hey, okay, maybe it makes sense now to go in this direction, make an experience, do things, get rolling, and then get back into reflecting again. How was that experience? Okay, interesting. So having this balance, it's really important for your growth to take both into account. Take time on your own, but also go out there and experience life. Next one, masculinity versus femininity. I found that often this is an emotional topic for a lot of people. I'm a guy, I'm masculine, but I do have a feminine side. Every guy has that. A lot of people live in this world of like, oh, especially guys, like I need to be a man. Don't cry, I'm the man. I can't show weakness because I'm not a girl. But there is a feminine side within you. Again, Abraham Maslow, the guy who created the pyramid of needs, also said that self-actualization is also connected to being authentic. And yes, you guys have an authentic feminine side. And yes, you girls do have a masculine side. Show that, be who you are. Leadership is not a masculine thing only. It can be very feminine. There are a lot of plenty of amazing women out there who are amazing leaders. Have an amazing also strong masculine side, still being feminine. And here I'm not saying that the balance is 50-50 again. Obviously, I'm a bit more masculine than feminine. But you also need to show the other side authentically. Very important for your growth, for figuring out who you are and being fully fulfilled. This only happens if you're truly, truly authentic and not trying to be somebody that you're supposed to be, but you're actually not. Key key aspect here. Another one would be about being productive and working hard versus relaxation and creativity, right? Relaxing and creativity is very much connected. You're most creative if you're calm and relaxed. Productivity is often like analytically working hard. Two opposites, but you can also combine them and say, hey, when I'm in the flow state, this is when you're most relaxed, most creative, but also most productive. Grinding through the day has something to do with friction. You want to float through the day in an easy way, manage yourself optimally. You are productive and you work hard, but you're also relaxed and mindful and creative. You can be both at the same time. Sometimes, obviously, you can't always be in the flow state. Sometimes you're more relaxed, sometimes you're more working like hard. But there are also moments in life when you can really connect that, and this is what you want the majority of your day look like as a goal, as a vision for the future. Think about that. Let's go to another one about growth, getting out of your comfort zone versus staying in your comfort zone. A lot of people, especially who are into self-help, always want to grow and get out of their comfort zone, but also acknowledge the comfort zone. It's amazing to stay within there. Children who don't have a comfort zone because there's always like argumentations at home and everywhere, they don't have a comfort zone, they later on really struggle often with psychological issues. And growing is not only positive, it's also negative. You let go of some safety, you let go of something old that you knew very well. There are always positive and negative sides. And you want to find your balance here. When do you want to go out of your comfort zone? When do you more want to relax? Also with working hard and relaxation, you need to have this work-life balance, yin and yang. Find your balance here. They call it the zone of proximal development, where you're the right amount outside of your comfort zone, growing optimally. It's not too hard, it's not too comfortable. You're growing optimally. That's what you want to find, that's your sweet spot. Let's go to the next concept. It's about wanting another partner, like, hey, I really want to be in a relationship, versus being happy on your own. And the funny thing again is, if you're most happy on your own, you radiate some sort of happiness, some sort of vibe, which makes it easier for you to attract other people. So if you're really needy, like, hey, I really want this is probably the moment when you least likely get it. And when you're not really looking for it, or you're more calm, relaxed, and focusing on other things, and just being present and being happy as you are, that's when it comes easy. That's when you attract people into your life. And you meet amazing people and new people. So actually here it's advisable, as all those other concepts as well, to somehow merge them most of the time. Put them together. And this is when both are satisfied, both sides. You don't want to be binary and be like either or. Put them together. It's the same with planning ahead in the future and being spontaneous and present. That's the same here with wanting a partner, not. Wanting the partner is the planning, and being present is more like the spontaneous thing, being happy for now. And by doing this is then when you actually meet your needs the most. Probably you reach your goal most likely if you live most in the present moment, look for the opportunities that pop up and just diligently work on that, still have your long-term vision, but live in the moment. It's what gives you the best results on any level, emotionally, monetary, wise, fulfilling wise, everything. Next one. Analytical thinking versus emotionality. Now we probably realize already that there is some overlap with some concepts. Analytical, working hard, emotional, relaxing. There are obviously some overlap. Losing control has also something to do with emotionality. They call it falling in love. Falling means there is no control. A lot of people have this struggle. OCD people who always need to have some control, they're really bad at being emotional, being creative, letting go, relaxing, falling in love, trusting. That's something that people can't really do because they're too much on the one side. Rational thinking, need to control of everything. It's not going to give you the best life. Have some control, be in control of your life and be in charge. Think analytically in the right moments, but also incorporate your emotional side. We both have them, both are authentic. You want to express both sides. Let's have a look at another one. It's about having the big picture versus being detail-oriented. If you're just a big picture person, I tend to be more big picture. That's great, you connect the dots, you get the most important things, can be really amazing. Also saves you time because you see what's most important in general. But you lose here and there some details, and sometimes those details are crucial. If you're too much a detailed person, you get lost in the process. Those people talk way too much, they get lost in what they're saying. They don't really see what's the why behind that. They don't have this big picture vision. You want to have both based on the situation. In some situations, it's very important to have the big picture. Let's get a vision. Let's make a plan. In some situations, it's very important to, okay, get into the detail here a little bit for an hour. Can be really crucial. Another concept is about goal-oriented leadership, giving people really clear goals, managing them, versus self-organized leadership, to more trust in the process of your employees and let them come up with new things that you would have never even thought about. Amazing concepts that you can merge partly just need to find your balance. I once had a really nice, I worked with a CEO together. He was really nice because he merged those two concepts together. Once I was in his office, he gave me a clear job. It's like, hey Marco, we want to create this online course here. And we would like to go in this direction. That's like a clear goal-oriented leadership. Though he gave me a lot of room and creativity within that. And he was like, hey, let's just meet up next week again. I'm just curious in which direction you're going and what you're heading. I really trust in the process here. And then though next week I still give you some feedback so we make sure that we're roughly on the same page, but I give you a lot of freedom here and I want you to come up with that. That's great. As a leader, you gotta have your company under control, but also you have to delegate some stuff. You can't manage everything, and also other people have brilliant minds or experts in their fields. You want them to pop up also with new ideas and go in different directions. Also from an organizational context is always this balance of how much do we invest in recruiting people? Because that's key. Don't teach a pig to fly. They just get mad about you. Get the right people. Versus though training people. Both is key. Not spending money into recruiting the right people and just training them. It's not working because sometimes you really can't push those people in this direction. Get the right people for the job and then improve them. Both is crucial. Find your balance here. Last one is about spending money, but also saving money. What is the balance? And yeah, you can sometimes merge them and say, hey, I'm spending money, so I'm making money. It's called investment. Investment in yourself, buying a book, but also really financial investments that directly give you a return, such as buying property, making money from that, real estate. You spend money to make money. That's how the business, that's how money works. You're not just trying to collect all the money you have, be here and just wait for more money. No, it's not working. You have to have this cash flow of being really genuinely spending money on things, but then also be smart with that to actually get something in return. This is how you make the most money, actually. Connecting two concepts. It's totally different to give money away or to get money, but by doing both of them, if you do it smart, you actually get both of them. All right. Those are a couple of concepts. I'm curious what you think about them, what you agree here, what you disagree, and can you come up actually with more concepts? I'm curious, actually leave a comment below and write some concepts down and you realize, oh, those are really contrary. I'm trying to find my balance here. I'm not sure yet where my balance is and how I can incorporate both of them even at the same time maybe. But yeah, life is tricky, life is complex, and life is paradoxical. It seems like, oh, this is totally not working. Later on you realize, oh, it is working. It seems like this is the wrong approach for this problem here, but at some point, oh, maybe we can merge this together and make sense again. The first case, a lot of things seem like they're wrong, but actually they work in some way. The first case, it seemed crazy, but then at the second case, and if you really truly see the reality as it is, you realize, oh, it's actually different than expected. I'm also a coach. You can hit me up. I help people to change their behavior, so change their thinking, understanding life better, and use that though practically for their own day-to-day life and become a better person, build up stable habits, let go of negative habits, and really improve your life and get where you want to go. Not just achieve your goals. I mean, you only achieve your goals to live a good life, right? So the question is how to live a good life. And if it means to achieve a certain goal, to change a certain behavior, okay, let's do that. Or let's figure out what actually would serve you the best. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel, give a thumb up, you know how the YouTube algorithm works, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.